When we last left the Avatar, he was busy building a tunnel. Welcome back, folks, to the Hardcore Minecraft Let's Play. We're busy building a tunnel. A tunnel full of tunneling. Because we want a safer route to actually get to the area that we're currently exploring, but doesn't involve me going out and travelling across water and everything else during the night. Because right now it's not very safe. It's not very safe at all. But at the moment I need to fill in this massive hole that I made in the ground because we found loads and loads and loads of coal. Absolutely loads of it. So we're just going to fill this up nice and secure so that we don't have any silliness like monsters spawning there. And then we'll continue building this area. It's not that much more to get here. So now we've actually made the entire floor. With the entire floor made, we could focus on the ceiling. And in fact, I will now focus on the ceiling. There is definitely some form of monstery area over there. We need to be very careful with the ceiling, though. Mainly because we don't want to suddenly have water everywhere. Makes things complicated. I do like making tunnels to get to places safely. You see, that's where a problem starts. Problem starts with things like that. With things like that. And a massive pile of gravel. Admittedly, gravel is not a bad thing to see. However, we want to actually break this from the outside. There we go. Goodbye, water. Excellent. There's... I see this is going to be a bit of a thing. There we go. See some, that a piece of flint? Flint will be used for making flint and steel. There we go. That did not actually take care of it. Wonder why. Oh, that's why. That's better. Okay. Now, we need to definitely go on the top of this. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Water must have pushed me. Go. We're definitely gonna have to go and have a look at that bottom area. I mean, sorry, the bottom of the lake, and see what I need to actually recover with dirt. At the moment, however, we are going to finish the tunnel. The tunnel does need finishing. There we go. Shouldn't take me actually that much longer. It's in the fact that we are now finishing the floor. Moving on to the ceiling, which we've already done all of here. And all of here. No, not all of here. Be careful with doing the ceiling here, though, because you never know, as I've said before, when something's going to collapse on you. Like lava. Surface lava is a thing. It's very rare, but it is a thing. Sometimes you will encounter it. And when you do, you've got to be careful. Right, now let's get the walls. I'm going to do that purely so that it looks more... Well, it just looks a little bit less constructed. Hello, hole in the wall. How are you today? You appear to be a hole in the wall. That is gravel. We don't want to be hitting that. Like that. There we go. And a bit more cobblestone. Hey, look at that. It's certainly coming together. It's still going to take a little while. But not as long a while as I originally thought. Eventually, I like to make minecart trails to get to the various different settlements that I make. Usually find some villagers and make settlements. There we go. And just to make it look better, we're going to make all this area nice and cobblestoned. Was there resources behind that? It was! Hello, iron. I almost didn't spot you. Almost. But I did spot you. So now, you're in my possession. There we go. Much better. And we're just going to make a little area here for the torch. Because I like having torches built into the walls rather than sticking directly out. It means you're less likely to do things like knock them down because they are concealed a lot better. I'm going to run out of pickaxes. No, I've still got one more. One more's still probably not going to be enough. Which is an observation. One more's probably not going to be anywhere near enough. There's a lot of gravel here. Yep, a lot of gravel here. So I'm going to do that so that I can put my torch there. Excellent. And that should be this side of the wall sorted. Once I've dealt with all this gravel, there's a lot of gravel there. There we go. Nice. Success! In a partial manner of speaking. I'm actually running out of cobblestone. I might need to go and get more. That's something I wasn't expecting to have to do. Go get more cobblestone. Little archway here. Should probably fill that in with dirt. Yep, I'm definitely going to need to get more cobblestone. Let's go get that. Got all these walls to deal with yet. May need to make a few more pickaxes. I'm dead. That is a tiny zombie nearby. There's a lot of things apparently nearby. Hello, Derek. How are you? You're on the surface. You're on the surface. Well, let's get rid of all... Let's get all this first. There's a lot of things building. By building, I mean growing. We want all of this. We want all that. And we want to plant some more stuff. So nice supply of bread and wheat. For all of our needs. There we go. Excellent. Let's go put all this back in here. You never know when you might need all this stuff. That is a different resource altogether. That's gravel. We don't need that. We are going to need these. And we're also going to need, I think, to make... Need some, I actually don't have any more stone. No, I do. I have 64 more. What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to make a few various pressure plates. That's an egg. Let's go get that. Oh. Well, we might as well use some of these, I suppose. There we go. Get some more chickens. Oh, we got a lot of chickens. We have got a lot of chickens. That's a lot of chickens. Yeah, I'm just about to say, I think it's time to replace the outside of these various rooms. There is some sort of dungeon-related thing nearby. It's full of spiders. It's directly beneath. Directly beneath. So, grab these. We need a few of these. We're going to need some buttons here. Needs to be a button. Unlike most other houses I build, where it will just be a pressure plate. Because Derek. Derek is going to stop me from being able to use it otherwise as something else. There we go. Here, it'll be a pressure plate on the other side. Okay, so... we're going to go... Nope, that's the wrong one. We're going to have a stone pressure plate and a button. And we're going to need, as I said before, a few more. We're definitely going to have to find out what's going on down there. I mean, there's something going on. There's some kind of structure. Some kind of structure. For something to hide in. Zombies, skeletons. There's something down there. Right, anyway, what was I doing? I was about to go down into the depths some more. We're gonna have to find out what's going on down there. Oh yeah. Because before it was just like the occasional chittering of a spider, now it's zombies. Large amounts of zombies. Not a fan of zombies being right next to my home. To figure out exactly what that is. I remember on some maps there was a map where I started off in the frozen area. There was a pocket underneath a frozen bit of frozen lake where zombies tended to spawn in that pocket because it was dark enough so you could see them through the ice. But it was just dark enough that they could survive there. Also, I see the water dripping in there. Dripping in. Fortunately, this kind of activity doesn't consume a lot of hunger. Go. We're getting there. Next one. I'll have one here, rather than where I originally placed it. Like that. We'll have one here, not particularly picking specific places where I want these to go. Okay, we're gonna have to cover up a hole here, aren't we? Yep. Yes, we are. Because this is gonna let in water. Yep. Thought it would. And I would like one here, too. Which is also going to be a problem with water. Not anymore, though. Nope. Tell a lie. There's some water problems. Gonna have to get rid of that. Cute. It's just, is it dark out there? There we go. And that's better. We're definitely going to have to go and have a look and see what we can do with the... see what we can do with all of the things that we've done with the lake. Because the lake's going to have... like that, the lake is going to have lots of random parts. Where it's just going to have... lots of random parts where it's just going to have lots of cobblestone. And here's another area where there's just going to be lots of random cobblestone. Except that time it's just going to be dirt. Digging up here is going to be a minor issue. However, now we're just digging across. Digging across is fine. Except here, where it's not fine. Because there's going to be even more water. You don't want to get a creeper in here. It sounds like common sense, but you just don't want to get a creeper in here. A creeper in your tunnel means that you could really, really compromise the structure of it. Compromising the structure of your tunnel is generally a bad thing. However, we are nearly done with it though. Plus, it's going to be pretty secure on both ends. I remember building one of these and there was a dungeon spawner on the way. And so while I was illuminating it and trying to get it all nice and bright, suddenly, I think it was a skeleton. I was going to say a creeper, but I think it was a skeleton. Just appeared. And I'm like, there's a dungeon nearby, because there's a monster spawner that's spawning monsters into my tunnel. Rest assured I dealt with it. Well, it was a bit of a surprise. Okay. I like this tunnel. This tunnel is going to save me some time. It's an investment now of time so that I can save time in the long run. And be safer. Being safer is the most important thing about it. However, now I need to deal with this part. And this part is going to be the tricky part. Well, I say that, and it actually doesn't look like it's going to be the tricky part. That part, however, is going to be the tricky part. The part where even more water happens. And now, because I've moved all those torches, the torches aren't going to get... Am I full on inventory? I'm full on inventory. Let's deal with this. Now what we want is we want a button on this side to open it up, and a pressure plate on this side. So that if we need to flee, we can flee. To be fair, I could put a door here too. Would that open both of them? Now there's a test. An experiment, so to say, that I'll be interested to perform. And I'm sure we will, because I do have a third iron door. However, let's finish this off first. About to say I nearly went out of cobblestone again, but I haven't. Not yet. Soon I will, though. Run out of cobblestone soon, that's for sure. That is gravel. It's a bit difficult now to actually tell the difference between gravel and the other materials now. That is not the right place for a piece of cobblestone. And it's raining outside. Well, that's going to help the crops. It's not going to help if there are supercharged creepers from lightning, however. Also, I see there that we're going to have a minor issue with cobblestone. Even at the very end, there are minor issues concerning cobblestone. Right, let's put a piece of that there, and a piece there. That should, yep. And that got rid of the water. However, here's some more water to worry about. Put one there, however. That'll take care of that. And I think, with that, we might have covered the entire thing with cobblestone. It looks pretty covered in cobblestone. I have to say, it looks pretty covered in cobblestone. I think we've done it. I think we've covered it all in cobblestone. Aha! Success! When we come back, folks, in the dark, the dark depths. Wow, this area is actually... This chest is running out of space badly. We need to sort all this out. Yeah, we pretty much run out of room here. However, we can use that, and we can use... That, I think. To be fair on the way... Yeah, I think we need a button, actually. We need a button on this side. Purely because we don't want things to come in the other way. That makes sense. Like, this part actually needs to be properly secure. This is the tunnel that I'm going to be using to basically get out of here if something goes wrong. So I want this nice and secure. So actually, we're going to put that there. I'm going to put a button here. It actually opens both, which is not bad. But this pressure plate will only open this. There we go. Little complicated. And in fact, to make one final addition before we conclude the video here, just going to put a torch here. Actually, I was about to say we had nothing more to do, but I forgot that quite a few of these things here, I hadn't actually put the... Nope, we've done that one. We haven't done this one. And now I'm figuring out the reason why we haven't done this one. I'm going to put one of these up there. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Come on! Let's get over there and find out why. It's a temporary solution. That's a very long-term solution, Kiko, but it's not going to make the... There we go. We're definitely going to have to go over there in the night and or the morning. We're not... Definitely have to go there at some point and find out all the areas we need to cover with dirt. So I think that should sort it all. Yep, that should sort it all. So, when we come back, folks, lots of food has been grown, the chickens are there, and all things are going well. I'm going to dump stuff in this chest off next video. Actually, I'm going to do that now. Let's dump stuff off in the chest. Not that. This, however, that can all go. This can all go, that can stay, this can stay. We've got a fair bit of sand. Make some more of those next time. More torches. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. So, I'll catch you next time. And I'll see you then. Later.